Hello, hello, hello. Hello, welcome to the warm-up class. That's the warm-up class number 4, warm-up class number 4 to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week, which will happen on between 28 April and 3 May. We have different special masterclass, different lessons where I'm going to show you how can you start improvising, being creative on saxophone, even if you are starting from zero, sharing the methodology I'm developing for many years where you can be creative on saxophone. You can learn saxophone being creative since the beginning. Okay, so that's the methodology I'm proud to share with you, that's supporting students from different parts of the world. So let's go ahead here. Just remember that's just the warm-up lesson. We have already we started yesterday the warm-up lessons. We are having 2 warm-up per day. Every weekday we are having the morning and the evening UK time. If you are from another country, it will be different time. But in the UK, it's 11 a.m. in the morning and then 7 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so we are here. We are building a community, so it's very important. Already, leave your like here, engage, follow the channel if you are not following. Let's create a community here. It's very important because most of people are learning alone, don't have friends, parents that want to learn. Here's the moment we are building a community. Okay, expectation. That's it. Show your presence here. Say hello, engage, show your like. So let's support, share with friends that want to learn saxophone also. I'm going to share a lot of knowledge to make you ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week. So most of the concepts here looks basic, but can help you a lot, especially if you are starting from zero. We have many warm-up lessons. If you watch all the warm-up lessons, for sure, your experience during the Sax Creative Experience Week should be very different. Should be an experience inside the musical universe that you never experienced before and can encourage you to go even deeper on your studies on that instrument. Okay, so let's go ahead. If you think you don't have talent, it's a very common issue. Most of people never try to learn a saxophone because they think they don't have talent. And that lesson specifically, I'm going to show you that it's not about talent. It's about how you develop your skill, how you are understanding music, because music is a kind of a language. Especially that lesson here, I'm going to compare music with games. We have games, we have rules. To play a game, you need to understand the rules. You don't necessarily need to understand all the rules, all the history of the game, because every game, we human being created the games, but not from zero. It's always something that were updated. Okay, one game coming from another game, different rules. It's adapted in different cultures, you know. So we are always creating rules. So we have to understand it and then prepare our skills to play inside these games. So when we are learning saxophone, we are developing our musical languages on that instrument. It's became our musical expression. Okay? So you don't need to play. If you are reading music, just people are teaching you how to read it, play on time. Not the purpose, you know, play all the songs. You have to understand the purpose. We have to understand the metrics, the rules. Okay, so we can go confidently. We can go confidently and play many different styles. We can be creative. Okay, even if your saxophone is dried, your reed is dried, because sometimes we have issue on the reed. I'm just checking here because I'm going to play example here, and my reed is very dry because I have a heater here. It's sometimes influence our instrument. Yeah, it looks interesting, but I'm using heater here, so the reed is always right. Uh, okay, so even if you are starting from zero, stay here. Stay here with us. Let's engage. If you think you don't have talent and you compare yourself with other because on other people are learning faster, but probably it's because people that are learning faster, probably they are being more consistent. They are understanding the rules. They are understanding the purpose of the notes. They know how to organize notes, and also have to be creative in a fun environment. In a creative environment, it should be much more interesting. So we can have fun because we never learn from overnight all the rules, all the techniques on your saxophone. It's something that we develop gradually. So a creative environment, you can explore your creativity with the small knowledge you already have. Even if you don't play any songs on your instrument, you can start playing just the mouthpiece, like the example of the previous lesson, the lessons of yesterday. Just make sure on the description here you have the playlist and you can access all the warm-up lessons, okay? So if you play just two notes on the saxophone, you can be creative just playing two notes, okay? During these warm-up classes, especially on the master class, on the day of the master class, you see what I'm talking about much better. That's just a warm-up. So if you practice but don't improve, you compare yourself, you are overthinking, you feel limited, that warm-up class to clarify you a lot of things. So if you don't know me, I am Marcelo Kugo. I am performing for over 20 years internationally in corporate events, private events, venues, touring, cruise ship, yacht, different kind of events. Also a side musician, I mean, hired to improvise along groups with well-known artists, local artists, different artists that I never heard before. I'm hired to play, improvise with band with musicians I never saw before, with DJs, etc. Different environments, different styles, and then I have a bachelor degree in music education, where my final project was developed that the beginning of that method, teaching saxophone through improvisation. I have a master degree in popular music practice, where I travel all the world, different continents, jamming, improvising, analyzing different musical styles, and composing and improvising, doing a lot of experimentations. So, a creator of the SCI method, Sax Creative Improvisation Method, the method I'm sharing here with you. So, you are not stuck because you lack talent. That's the main message of the lesson today. You are stuck because you don't understand the game yet. That lesson we are compare music with games. Why? Because music is a game with rules. Each styles we have rules. We have to understand the rules. If you are from US, that's the comparison of um, uh, American sport. For example, probably you know the rules of baseball. I don't know nothing about baseball. Even if you are not a good baseball players, you can win because if we play against each other, because I don't know nothing. Okay, I go to the gym almost every day. I have my physical. I'm not a pro athlete, but I can run every day 30 minutes, But I don't know the rules of the game. Maybe the activities I develop on the gym, running, it's not enough to play baseball. I have to understand the rules and prepare my body to play inside the game. Music is the same. So each music style has different rules, different characteristics, and we have to develop these characteristics. We have to understand the rules, understand, and then express through the saxophone. So the saxophone became an instrument where we express your knowledge and we can play the game. That's the analogy of the lesson today. So we have to understand the rules. It's applying sport and the music. We have to analyze the rules. We have to practice. We have to repeat, develop muscle memory. When you are repeating specific skills, repeating and repeating, even if it's not interesting. For example, sometimes it's disgusting. Repeat, repeat, especially neighbors, specific movements, specific to develop muscle memory, so we can get even more confidence. We understand the rule and we have to practice some movement to develop muscle memory. So during the game, we can do it naturally without overthinking. And then it becomes consistency. And because of the consistency, we become part of the game. Okay? Understanding the rules, let me explain it here. And that's the comparison with football, or if you are in US soccer. So football and the music, we have to understand what's happening. For example, if you are playing some song, we have to understand the rules of the specific songs. We have to understand the game. Check here on the left side. The football player understand probably the rules of the football, and then the instruction of the coach. Okay, and the music is the same. To understand the instruction of the coach to play his game, we have to understand the rules of the football or soccer. The rules are created by FIFA and some specific institutions. And the other side, we are understanding the rules of one composition or one musical style. Okay, so it's developed through the time. If it's following some specific style, we have to understand the rule behind it. And then let's practice in football. We can compare it for playing in a garden, training, training. And then in music, on the other side, we can see the rehearsal. Or if you are playing alone, you can practice it with your backing track, backing track following something. Today we have backing tracks, modern technology. We can use backing track, but we can also play with groups. Okay, but in practice. But it will not be perfect. So we have time when we have to explore specific things. For example, in music, we have to explore, maybe we have to explore more articulations, or we have to get more confidence on timing. In that moment, maybe in music, we have to practice more alone with metronome, or exploring specific chord progression, or you can practice just with one musician of the group, maybe just with the guitar player to get confidence on the chord progression. You can also practice with backing track. In football, maybe we can practice dribbling. You can practice penalty. You can free kick. Practice a lot of free kick as much you can to develop muscle memory. So we can. That's the moment that should be disgusting for most of people. But when you are understanding the purpose, it makes sense. Okay, maybe your neighbor don't know don't know the purpose, but you know the purpose. If you are if you are playing on the correct time, if you are not practicing it after midnight, that's okay to everyone. So consistency. You stop overthinking and you play naturally. You play naturally after understanding this process. You became part of the game. Music. You became part of the music. Okay, you are completely immersive inside the game. You become part of the music. Okay, that's the good thing. And the football is the same. Okay, everything about muscle memory stimulation. You absorb the rules, you know what to do, and the repetition make you confident. Okay. So important. We can create our own game or play games already created and popular. That's very important point. For example, if I playing basketball, exist specific rules, okay? But basketball was not invented from nowhere. It's some game that was created getting because of the inspiration of another game. I don't know the history of basketball. If you are a basketball specialist, maybe you know the history behind. The ball. We use ball for centuries, I guess, for centuries. So the use of the ball, we can use ball to play games, and then we can create different games using ball with different rules. Okay, so we can create different games, or I can play basketball, but adapting the rules with the number of players I have, or because of the characters the pitch I have, so we can readapt the rules to integrate or to adapt on the condition we have, the physical condition. Okay, uh, or to be inclusive, to include another more players. That's the same in when you are cooking, for example. If you are from US and you like cook, you can cook a carbonara, for example, Italian food. Invite a friend from Italy to eat your carbonara, and let's think that especially if he's or her is from Rome, invite them to eat that carbonara. Should be different than the carbonara you can find in Rome. Okay, for example, I am originally from Brazil. If you cook for me a feijoada, I am vegetarian, but if you cook a feijoada, maybe it should be different if you are from another country. Okay, it's the same. We can create our own way to express music. We can use rules of specific musical styles. We can adapt on what we have. For example, if we are playing rock musical style, but you have just a guitar player to play with you, no drummer, no singer, just instrumental, you can play rock instrumental. So we can create a rule, adapt the rules, maybe changing the rhythm. That's the things I'm going to explain you. But we have to understand the harmony, maybe this harmony sequence, the chords progressions should be the same of the song. We will change just small things. That's the same. Because it's a human thing. So look at that. It applies in sport, music, food. What more else? Comment below what more else where we can see it. Architecture, also video game, everything, right? Because it's a human thing. It creates inside a cultural context based on technology, current knowledge, values, experimentation, like everything human. Okay, talking about again about the rock and roll. The rock and roll was only possible because of the electricity. Because of the electricity, we created the PA system. So four musicians can play. We can play just four instruments. Before was necessary orchestra, many instruments to play inside the church, for example. Many instrumentalists. Now with just two instruments, maybe just solo, we can play. I played already alone using backtrack, even without backtrack a cappella for thousands of people because of the electronic system. So many instruments were created because of the technology. And with that, we create new musical styles. Okay, we have variation of rock, variation of funk, variation of many musical styles. Every decade, we will have a new musical style because of the technology also. So the previous lesson we focused on time. I focused just on time. It was a very interesting lesson. Should just remember, check here below when after that class, check below and watch the lessons yesterday were about time. We reflect about the time, seeing music as a temporal dimension. So music, we have to understand time first of all, temporal dimension. So we create beats, regularity of the beats, the pulse of the song, to fix that dimension on our human perception. When we have a pulse, established pulse, with a certain frequency, we understand that we have a temporal dimension. It's a different dimension, and then we develop all the rules. That's music. We are not playing football in a pitch. We are playing in a temporal dimension. So that is the base of the music. And then What we can analyze. Let me show you what we can analyze. Technical insight, musical styles. We have to analyze each styles. Remember, each style has a specific rule. Each style has a specific rule. Some rules are shared. We can, once you explore one specific style, we can see that we have some common characteristics between the styles. Okay, we have infinite musical style. We can create styles. It never stops. It's human things. So timing, first of all, what's the beat? What's the pulse? Time signature, groove, rhythm. Maybe we can use a rhythm that already exists. For example, in a song, maybe we are playing bossa nova rhythm. Maybe we are playing bossa nova rhythm. What's the characteristic of that rhythm? It's in quaternary. It has four pulses on each bar. So we have to understand the metric. That's the fundamental. The metric, because we have to understand. We have to be able to understand where one specific chord is playing. When, for example, the first bar. In the first bar, we have to play the chord of C, and you know the notes of the chord of C. The second bar probably is chord of G. So we have to count in the bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So the first bar maybe is chord of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second bar is chord of G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then so we have to be able to understand where we have to play the notes to stay in harmony. That's the part 2. Understand the chord progression, notes in each bar, chord pattern, and then we have scales, modes, phrasing pattern. Each musical styles has specific modes, scales, phrasing, some kind of pattern, phrases characteristics, symmetry characteristics, ornamentation, articulation, and the rhythm characteristic. Okay, that's something that you can consider before analyze the rules of the game. Maybe you don't have to be able to analyze now. Just show you it. It's a warm-up lesson, okay, to get you ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week and to show you the universe. So we can create, remember, we can create our own game. We can create our own game. So turn practice into a simple personal challenge. It's very interesting. I love it. When we are creating a game, you can create something for yourself to entertain yourself. We can also create something in a composition way. You can create a song. Okay, you can become songwriter when we are creating game, but you have to understand rules, But you don't have to understand all the rules now. Just be patient. Let's develop it step by step. Especially, listen that because it's very important. Especially if you are learning saxophone, we have to understand that we have the mental side where we are understanding intellectually, and we have the body side. We have to be repetitive. Maybe you can understand faster than your body. Okay, so it's very important to be patient. If your mind is ahead and your body is still in the first step, developing the sense of rhythm, probably you think that you don't have talent. Okay, because you have to be patient. Don't go ahead, don't go deep, go slow. Develop your. Remember here that's part here, that slide. Let me just go back here. It's very important. Repetition. Okay, once you understand a specific rule, you can develop your muscle memory in just one specific rule. Okay, for example, the warm-up lesson of yesterday, I was talking just about timing. It's very important. I know people that read music, read very well, but don't express nothing musically. Are talk to read music, but don't know nothing about music, don't know nothing about the pulse, about the harmonic characteristic, or try to read. That's your case, you know what I mean. The issue is because you were not taught to understand music as a language and express yourself. Maybe you can play scale, everything, but you are reading. That's not the purpose. We have to develop it naturally. We have to be creative. So if you develop your skills step by step inside these specific rules, it's much better for you. You will not overthinking. You will not compare yourself because you understand that you are your own rhythm, and because you are in your own rhythm, you will develop your own characteristics. It's very important, especially in art. You don't have to compare a lot. You can get references with the other creations or the mistakes, and do your own path through that. Okay. So that's it. You can build confidence, use the skills you already have, set your own rules, and explore creatively. Practice becomes expression when you play with intention. Okay? So I'm going to create my own rule here. If you don't understand what I'm creating here, don't worry. I'm just showing you that we can create rules with the knowledge we have. In the Sax Creative Experience Week, if you are watching the warm-up lessons, all the warm-up lessons, you can get ready. And the Sax Creative Experience Week that will happen between 28th April and 3rd May, I'm going to show you much clear, even if you are starting from zero, if some of the information of the warm-up class are not clear enough, even if you are watching the lessons on the day, you can observe much better the content for sure. Okay? And you can see that you can create with just few notes. You can understand music easily. Okay? So I'm going to create my own rules. Let me share the rule I created. Remember about the timing, the time, quaternary bar, following the jazz medium swing. So I'm playing using jazz swing. Jazz swing, that's the rhythm, quaternary. So I know the phrases will be, the chords will be measured by 4 pulses. Each pulse, each bar 4 pulses. Each bar 4 pulses. Then harmony, I want the first bar D and the second bar E. 1 chord per bar. So we have 4 pulses per bar, 1 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, D, and the other bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, E. So D, E, D, E. So on these bars, I'm going to play the notes of the chord, okay? And the melodic characteristic Lydian scale. I'm going to play Lydian scale. Let me check if my reed is still dried. Okay, I think I can do it. So it's just example. Just remember, create a simple games with you already know. So let's play here. That's my game. Let's play to you my own game. Let's play my own game. So I can express myself, I can be creative with that game I created because I know some of the rules, Let's do it. Just if you don't know what's Lydian is a scale. We have infinity scale. You can also create scales. Scales are notes we use, okay? Sequence of notes, specific notes. So I'm going to play specific notes, okay? But on each chord, I have to follow the notes of the chord. Maybe it's complex for you understanding now, but stay here, observe it, maybe unconsciously. On the day of the Sax Creative Experience Week, it will be much clear, okay? Just stay here, just stay here. Lydian mode is that scale. That's the characteristic of Lydian mode. So let's play my game. Okay, so mainly that was the rule I created. If you are lost, don't you worry. I'm just showing you that it's possible to create the own rule with the knowledge we already have. Don't worry, I have over 20 years playing music professionally. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share with you during these lessons, the warm-up lessons, a lot of rules so you can understand and develop on your own time. Okay, knowledge, get inspiration to start saxophone. The thing is not about talent, it's about understanding, about practicing, about being creative to enjoy your process. Okay, so don't compare with what I'm doing. I just show you that we can create games and also understand the rules of specific game and play this game. I can play, for example, a rock. I can play one. Once I understand the rules of rock, I can practice skills inside the rules of the rock and roll, or funk music. You know, that's the things. It's very simple. In reality, it's very simple. On the workshop, if you are watching all the warm-up lessons, engaging here, watching, even if you are not understanding everything clearly, just observe it. On the day, it will be very clear for you. Okay. So identity music is about understanding skill built over time. We are developing skills, meanwhile you are recognizing these rules. Okay, learn rules, play freely. Develop your saxophone skills, meanwhile discovering ways to express yourself, inside the musical rules. That's the message of the day. That's the message of the day. You don't need talent. You need to be consistent, understand, especially that your body has a rhythm, your intellectual side has another rhythm. Try to balance. Don't go deeper, okay, if you can't play on your saxophone. So you can be creative with what you already have on the saxophone. Okay, don't compare yourself with others. Okay. Then link in the description. You can find here a link to subscribe if you are not registered yet for that masterclass Sax Creative Experience Week. You can find here on the description. Once you register, you will receive a link to join the WhatsApp group. I'm sending notifications every day, audios, the link of the warm-up lessons, so you can get a lot of information, okay, and get ready for the Sax Creative Experience Week. Okay, and also we have the playlist of the previous warm-up lessons, and you can check here the playlist and watch on your free time. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for staying here. Unfortunately, I'm not able to check now. I can't see the comments. Maybe you are engaging here online, but after that live, I can go and read all the comments, reply you. That's it. Let's engage that. Let's build a community. It's very important. Build a community here. Don't be shy. Show yourself. Show your presence. Let's go. Let's go. It's very important. Community is very important to learn. So that's it. Thanks for
watching. I hope that class can support your knowledge, your inspiration. So I hope I can share information support you. Then, okay, so thanks and see you tomorrow in the next warm up lesson for the sax creative experience week. Cheers, see you, enjoy your day.